You guys can hear? Okay. So we're going to get started. I want to thank everybody for joining the first session of the day, the first panel session for this year's SSP, Changes in Academic Book Publishing Models, What's Working, What's Not, and the all-important What's Next. I am very excited about today's session. We have a terrific lineup of speakers. We have a mix of views and perspectives, starting with Dr. Catherine Stevens McCaffrey, who is a researcher working at Harvard Business School on medical innovations. Catherine has been researching, writing, and teaching for the past 20 years. We're really interested in hearing right directly from our ultimate end user of books and ebooks on how Catherine is working with that material. The next to Catherine, we're going to hear from Vivian Burgon. Vivian is the managing director of Burgon Books, which is an independently owned mid-sized scholarly publisher based in London with New York offices. Is that correct? Oh, England, pardon me. Then we'll hear from Bridget Scheld, the VP of Academic Publishing at Cambridge University Press. We purposely found publishers of two different sizes who work in similar fields but not exactly the same fields to have some contrasting points of view on ebooks, ebook initiatives. And then rounding out the talk, we'll hear from Rich Coble, who is the Vice President of Business Development at Scope eKnowledge, where Scope provides metadata services for publishers, particularly abstract indexing and taxonomy issues. So Rich works with many scholarly publishers. Perhaps some of you know Rich, and I thought that his insights to what's he seeing from lots of different kinds of publishers on the ebook side would be invaluable. I am Scheld. I am the Managing Director at Publishers Communication Group, it's PCG. We work with scholarly academic publishers of books and journals to help solve sales and marketing issues. And over the past few years, we've noticed an uptick in the number of campaigns that we've worked on around ebooks, because we hear from many publishers that ebooks are feeling a little bit flat. So we work with publishers to solve how they can sell more ebooks. This is the lineup with their Twitter handles. Feel free to tweet to them during them. They say something fantastic and you want to comment on it, please feel free to tweet. Through PCG's research, we looked at a study that Library Journal Cengage Gale did last year with U.S. academic librarians, where librarians reported that ebook usage was projected to plateau this year versus last year. And if anybody was in the workshop on ebooks, I made the exact same joke yesterday, but plateauing is not good for any of our business. So what are we doing about that? And I really think that we hope to hear, if not exact answers, some ideas that each of us could take back to our houses and think a little bit more about. So we know that ebook usage is expected to plateau, at least in the US this year. Conversely, just to soften that information, PCG does an annual library budget survey that's global, and the 2017 results show that librarians are projecting 5% increase in ebook budgets. And 5% sounds very exciting. We're very happy to hear that and happy to bring that news. However, that's also, if you take into consideration, that's ebooks that include price increases, and it's also at the peril of print book budgets. So that 5%, I think, needs a little bit of context around it. So I think it's safe to say that overall, ebooks are a bit of a struggle for many publishers. Before we hear from Catherine, I just wanted to take a quick poll. How many librarians do we have in the room, if any? Handful of librarians. How many folks do we have that are on the vendor services side of our industry? And then how many publishers do we have in the room? Okay, so that gives us a range of what we have. Do we have any other academics in the room, by the way? Okay, we're going, Catherine. Okay, so once again, thank you for joining us this morning, and I also want to thank the panelists for taking their time, for preparing thoughts, and for also to be willing to share some of their experiences as well. Thank you very much, and Catherine?
All right, thank you, Melisande. I'm very